Today, this video is going to compare simple and compound interest situations to one another and find out which one ends up earning more money given the specific situation. We just want to review the formulas real quick. Simple interest, the formula is I equals PRT. Compound interest, A equals P parentheses 1 plus R parentheses exponent T. So the things they have in common, P stands for principal or your starting amount in both situations. R stands for your interest rate, and we need to be expressing it in decimal form only, not in percentage. Then T stands for the amount of time, and it has to be expressed in years. The other two things, the letter I stands for interest and the letter A stands for total amount or final amount of money in the account. The first question we're going to look at is going to be comparing. It says Olivia will deposit $1,530 in an account that earns 6% simple interest every year. Her sister Melinda deposited $1,500 in an account that earns 8% interest compounded annually. So we have two different sisters, and their money is earning at different interest rates, and they both have different starting amounts. The deposits will be made on the same day with no additional money deposited or withdrawn from the accounts. So they're not adding any more or taking any away during this time period. Which statement about the balances of Olivia's account and Melinda's account at the end of the 3 years is true? So the question is asking us to compare. We want to know the statement about the balances at the end of 3 years is true. So I need to first get Olivia's information. Olivia deposited $1,500 in an account. She's earning 6% simple interest every year. So I can set up her information. Olivia's doing simple interest only. Her formula is I equals PRT. Her principal was $1,530 times her interest rate. Remember, you always divide your percent by 100 to get your decimal form. So that's 0.06. And all of the girls, both of them are doing 3 years. When you multiply this together, you are going to get $275.40. Remember, that's interest only. And our question is wanting to know the whole balance. So in order for me to get that, I have to take her starting amount, which was $1,530, and add this new interest she earned. So I know her balance at the end of the 3-year time period. Her balance is $1,805.40. Okay. Then the next thing I need to do is find out her sister's amount of money. So Melinda deposited $1,500 and she's earning 8% compounded annually. So again, I need to set up her information. Melinda, and she has a different situation. It's compound interest. So her formula is A equals P parentheses 1 plus R in parentheses exponent T. So I'm going to say A equals, her starting amount was $1,500. Then parentheses 1 plus, her interest rate was 8%. So that's going to be 0.08. And again, the amount of time is 3 years, so exponent 3. Now when I type all that in the calculator, it equals $1,889. And then it says 568, but I'm going to round that up to say 57 cents. Okay, her balance A means the final amount, so I don't need to do any extra work to know her balance. It's $1,889.57. Her sister's balance is $1,805. So now I know for sure Melinda has more. So I can cross out answer choice A because that said Olivia had more. I can cross out answer choice B because it also said Olivia had more. When I compare these two amounts of money, if I subtract them, I could know exactly how much more, but it's definitely more than $5. So my correct answer would be D. Melinda has $84.17 more cents. Then this question, we're actually going to try to work backwards. This says 8 years after opening her savings account, Macy had $7,880 in the account, which earns annual simple interest. If Macy started with $5,000 in her account and didn't make any additional deposits or withdrawals, what was the approximate annual interest on the savings account? So this one we're going to have to do a little bit of back work. We know the time is 8 years. I know that her starting amount was $5,000. Now the question is trying to get me to determine what was the interest rate. Okay. I do know, however, that at the end, the account has $7,880. So this is the total amount. And then this is my time. That's my P. I don't know the interest rate. All the answer choices are percentages. So we have a couple different things we can do. But first, we definitely need to know how much new money was earned. So I could take her final amount and subtract what she started with. That equals $2,880. Okay, this equals interest. Now, it said she was doing simple interest. So the formula for simple interest, I equals PRT. Now I know my I because I subtracted. Okay, so I could fill that in, $2,880. I know the starting amount was $5,000. So for P, I'll put 5,000 times. The interest rate is what we don't know. We're trying to figure that out. Times the number of years was 8. So once you get here to this point, what we have to do is make a choice. You can either solve the equation to find out the missing value for letter R, or your other choice would be to test out the answer choices. If you want to test out the answer choices, what you would do is I would say 5,000 times and then pick the first interest rate, 0.08, and then I know it's 8 years. Well, when I work that out, it actually is 3,200, but the question says I'm supposed to be getting 2,880. Okay, so that is totally wrong. Then I would test out the next answer choice, 5,000 times, well, if I knew that one was too big, then G would also be too big, so I could skip down to the next one. 0.072 times 8. When I times that together, I actually do get 2,880. So then this percentage would be the right one. If you don't have answer choices, then you have to just solve the equation. So when I do this, I have 2,880 equals 5,000 times R times 8. I can actually times 5,000 with 8 and get 40,000. So it says 40,000 times R equals 2,880. Then my last step would just be divide. And when you do divide these, it equals 0.072. And that is what matches. If I turned it into a percentage, it would be the same thing.